I was in 3 of the 4 New Hope groups, and actually continued. That was the start of entertainment for me. I actually stayed on the road performing with a number of other acts for many years. But the interesting part of that was that I was there when we came up with the concept of New Hope. And we were traveling and we heard a song come on the radio. And it was a song called The Green Tambourine by the Lemon Pipers. And Cam said, you know, I'd like to have a small group that could do that kind of light pop music, really nice vocals, nice arrangements, and they could open for other people. And he named people like Andy Williams or Henry Mancini or Johnny Mathis or those kind of people, because at that time vocal groups were pretty big.
And actually it started off New Hope Singers, so we were really a show group. Everything was choreographed, which is wild. And every time we did a song, when we moved from one song to the next song, we'd do it to the stools, everything was choreographed.
Then I heard about this 9-month tour and my ears were like, you know, this was really what I was looking for. And they didn't ask me to go on, and they didn't ask me to go on, you know, and I'm like, can't you see? I'm destined to be on this group, you know? So I had to ask them.
In 1972, if I recall the year, and I believe I do, I traveled as the guitar player with the group New Hope for approximately about 7 months.
The tour I was part of was New Hope 70, 71, 71, 72.
And I was with them for quite a few years. That was 68, I believe.
The tours were from 1969 through 1972.
I liked what I knew about what New Hope was doing, and I took them up on the offer. I was really kind of flabbergasted. They contacted me because I thought, man, there's got to be all kinds of guitar players in the country they could get.
One summer, the summer of '69, working, slaving away in Texas, and received a telephone call from Daryl. Said, hey, we need a tenor and a group, and we start rehearsals in 2 weeks. Can you come out to California? And I said yes, and the rest is history.
And I was on so many tours, I can't even quite remember, but I started with Continental Singers, I think in 1968, where we went to Asia, and then from 68, for the next several years, I was with the Continental Singers, Renaissance, New Hope Singers, and the last tour that I took was with Dan Burgess in 1973.
We did New Hope Singers that year, then the next year we did Renaissance, and next year New Hope, and then there was another group after that, also called New Hope, but there wasn't as much hope. The last group.
I was a bass player for Renaissance and enjoyed that, part of the band. I didn't do any vocals, just played the bass. They didn't ask me to sing, obviously, basically because I can't.
Did things with New Hope, and then that led into other groups after that. So I toured with them for what, I think 3 years or something like that.
I've been with the organization since 1965. I was a Continental Singer prior to being with the New Hope. And when I started with New Hope Singers, that was my first year on the road for the whole year. And so that was probably the biggest, most exciting thing that I had done up to that point.
New Hope was the first Christian band that I'd ever travel with. I joined them in 1971.
They wanted this group during the school year called New Hope. We'd like you to come. So I said, sounds good, so I did. Instead of going back to college against my mother's wishes, but I thought, I got to go for this. I'm going to do this.
I actually joined Renaissance in the middle of their tour in January, followed that by 2 more New Hope groups, and finished at the end of 1971 with the last New Hope group.
Started with New Hope in the fall of 1969, and I ended my time with New Hope in the spring, early summer of 1973. So I was 3 full tours.
After that, went right on to Renaissance. Continental Singers and Renaissance were rehearsing at the same time, and long, long days.
To me, the first really fun stuff was just getting together and rehearsing with all these like-minded young musicians.
It was an awesome privilege to be a part of a group like that because I knew I had followed people who had done really well, and I wanted to be in New Hope. I thought that was, man, I thought if I could just go on the road with New Hope, I would have arrived. That was my goal at that point, and certainly a real privilege at that time of my life.
I think excellence is incredibly important. And up to that point, and I'd worked other groups, I'd mentioned, and so I knew what was going on a little bit that way. I thought that was as close to excellence as a Christian as you could get at that time. These people had chops, and it was fun to be part of that.
I first joined the New Hope in 1968, which was the first New Hope group. And I was just trying to find my place. But I probably in large part because I was given the opportunity to actually do the front work and the honor to tell the people at the end of the program about Jesus.
You know, New Hope was more of a ministry. It was traveling a lot of miles. We did miles and miles and miles. And our whole goal was to get to kids where they live, do the high schools and universities and colleges and conference centers and the big convention centers, and do everything we could that was out into the public, and then do it with songs like that they had never heard, Christian people had never heard, you know, but that the world had heard, and get them all excited about our music and invite them to come to the churches in the evening. And in the evening we presented the gospel, and we saw souls, people coming to Christ just by the droves. You know, lots and lots of kids found the Lord. That was New Hope, and New Hope was to give new hope.